Far right now, though.
I mean,
I'd
been ignored about this.
Now they
So we gonna stop that.
the series break, but it's going to be difficult, isn't it?
They still got a lot to prove, Kevin, coming into this series.
Come on, Jay.
Okay, it's gonna make us far even better. Here's one of the things I've learned from working with Stephen A. over the last 15 years I've been here. We got to answer the question. And I saw it. You started to isolate the isolate. The question was, is Jaylen Brown the most underrated player in the league? And you started off with a strong conviction on that being the case. And then when you close the commentary, you then change it to one of the most underrated. That wasn't the question. So let's get back to the most underrated. I mean, 3 weeks ago, Stephen A., it was Jaylen Brunson, the most underrated NBA player. It was just 3 weeks ago. It was Jaylen Brunson. So we can't change the answer to that to now, it being the case, or it being Jaylen Brown. And also, the last fact I will now pass it back to you, Mr. First. You can't be the most underrated player in the NBA when you're the highest paid player. You have the biggest contract in the NBA. That means that the NBA and the Boston Celtics recognize your worth. They recognize your value by giving you a $300 million contract. That means you are a movie. That means the world can talk about, is he Batman or is he Robin? Is he Superman or is he Batman? But we, here in this organization and around the league, we are going to give you that Supermax because we know your value. We know your worth here. So you're not underrated. You're rated exactly where you're supposed to be with the biggest contract in NBA history right now.
When it comes down to being underrated and underappreciated, when we look at it again, we go back to the point of when we come on here, we're always talking about who? His teammate, your Duke brother, and Jason Tatum. So he don't get the proper recognition he deserves. So when he have a game like he had last night, a 40-piece wing dinner, now all of a sudden we come back on and we like, oh, well, damn, do we show this brother enough love? And he got to go out and write to the media or the Boston media and the fans got to bring it to our attention again that, hey, Jaylen Brown is like that. When you talk about two of the best, one of the best duos in the game, is him and Jason Tatum. He can't be punished. Give me out. He cannot be punished for the people that he has around him. That whole starting five, think about this. When they're healthy, every single guy on that starting five could be an all-star.
Well, okay, go ahead.
Hold on, Jay, let me challenge you. Couple of things. Number one, I'm not going to say that he can't be hurt because there's been plenty of times throughout NBA history when we look at the teammates around you to decide your value because of the ease with which your responsibilities, the responsibilities that you have. Because if you've got a star-studded cast around you and you're superior to most competitors, that does make life a bit easier for you. And when we see the arduous task that other stars have, and we see how they overcome it individually, we can't ignore that. But number two, I'm going to throw this out to both of y'all. And Jay, I'm going to come to you first with this. And you say what you want to say, whatever point you was going to make. But I want to read to y'all what an NBA source just said. He said, Jaylen Brown, it's not so much that he's underrated, it's that he's just not liked because of his, quote, I am better than you attitude. He knows it. It's the same reason he is not as marketable as he should be. That's what an NBA source just said to me. I don't know that to be the case. I like Jaylen Brown. I know a lot of people that like Jaylen Brown. But again, when you think about marketability, that's what that person was alluding to. Do y'all think there's any credence to that whatsoever in terms of the conversation that we're having?
I mean, I think he should be marketed for. I think the term underappreciated is more relevant here for this conversation, more so than underrated. Yeah, I think the reality, Stephen A., is that whenever we talk about certain brand names, like you're going to lead with Jason Tatum because it's been established as he's been the guy for them, even though Jaylen Brown should have been the guy, or same with LeBron James or Stephen Curry. So I think that goes back to your original point, though, about how other guys have to carry the load in a different fashion than Jaylen Brown needs to carry it throughout the regular season. So when you're not going to get that up because you're sharing that limelight with Jason Tatum, with the likes of having the Drew Holiday and with even Derek White, what he's brought to the table. There's a lot more responsibility there. It's more of a collective than it is seeing Gilgeous Alexander being in the MVP conversation. And what Giannis needs to do, it's just the narratives around how that team is built and how they're carrying the weight throughout the regular season is differently positioned than it is for the other people that are going to get pushed up to the top of the conversation.
Yeah, because you got to sacrifice. That's right. When you have that type of you have that personnel around you, you have to sacrifice, and it's part of it.
Got it. Okay. I just want to I didn't know there's a point though. I'm with you, Stephen Adams. But it's interesting when you hear people talk about Jaylen Brown and how he's cut from a different cloth now. And yeah, I think some people love it, but I know it can come. They need to rub other people the wrong way. Look, I'm here for it.
The Bulls making a change here as well. Fouls checked in. That's both from the strike.
Well, he's come through for them at the line today, and you love having a big fella who's so capable on his
That's better.
with the stop.
And that's too easy. The size, strength, length, no way to stop Chamberlain once he gets the ball in that close.
Now here's Walton.
Brown scored 40 last night.
That's what he failed to make. First team, or second team, or even third team All NBA. Jaylen Brown finished 16th in the voting for those top 15 spots, meaning Indiana's Tyrese Halliburton knocked him off third team as the last man in. Did that motivate him last night? Here was Jaylen Brown's answer.
Passes it to Chamberlain. Pocket six. Off target with the jump hook. He got it up. And no good. A nice first quarter of play. We've seen plenty of offense so far. Nets lead by 2. Live from
now comes speculation that if the Warriors release Chris Paul, the Lakers could be interested. Wayne, you're very close to CP3, who's obviously close to LeBron. You're also a huge Laker fan. Would CP3 be a good fit for your Lakers?
I believe my bro is just fit for any team. But for the Lakers, he'll be a good fit, maybe not a great fit. Yeah, I believe he'll be a great fit. Me and Paul was just speaking about, I believe he'll be a great fit back in the team.
They missed him this year.
Yeah. But only a good fit for your Lakers because of age. Just because of me having that age and knowing how long he's supposed to be a Laker, it's just an exhausting thought, that's all.
It's one of the deals where 13 years ago, almost, bro. Almost an hour.
I know 13 years ago I knew.
Chicago trailing.
I don't know if I won't see. I don't even know. You know what I mean?
Here's Hastings.
Depending on his grip, he could be helpful, just depending on his role. He is up there in age. Do you want a traditional point guard, facilitator type? You know what you get. You know he's going to be like the coach on the bench. So if you are going the J.J. Redick route, maybe a veteran like this helps the situation.
I agree.
But man, we just got old. That's interesting when you say that. That's interesting when you say that, because when you said J.J. Redick, I automatically saw him playing the year out, retiring, being assistant coach right there on the side of J.J. Redick. So when you say that, that's
pretty good, Tim. Yeah, I mean, that may be the case, but it's just, what else are we getting other than CP3? That's the question.
It depends on what you're trying to do. I mean, you want to be able to win a championship. I mean, who CP be a good fit in Los Angeles? What's he trying to accomplish? If they're saying to win a championship, that won't be enough. Can CP3 play with anybody? I think he can play this, depending on his role. Is he a starting point guard next to LeBron? Is he coming off the bench? These are the questions you got to ask. 6-man, 7-man, I mean, get older. The Lakers team get older. I mean, would it be a great presence in the locker room for LeBron? Yes. Clearly, they're good friends. So there's a number of things you can say about CP being a good fit, but at the end of the day, you got to ask ask yourself, what are the Lakers trying to accomplish? You know, at what price are you getting CP? You know, that's another question. Are you getting that, you know, mid-level? Are you getting the minimum?
Maybe minimum.
Minimum. So, like, yeah, of course, that's a good pick because you had another player who has a high IQ, who's also a coach on the floor and off the floor. So, yeah, I mean, for that price, absolutely, it's a good pick.
All right, so this is what happened to CP3 at Golden State. He played in 58 games. He started 18 games. He averaged 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 7 assists. He did play in that game, the playing game at Sacramento that they lost. So they were one and done, and he scored 3 points with 1 rebound and 2 assists in 18 minutes. So if he comes to the Lakers, would he be a starter? Because you would think just on his prestige and his legacy.
I don't think we should judge him off that one night. They already have a system. And he just didn't fit in their system. And they were fair enough.
Okay, let's say you starting with LeBron James.
I believe it works.
Okay, by the end of the year, once they both have their birthdays, you would have 2 40-year-olds in the backcourt. 2 40s. 2 40s.
That'd be...
Okay.
Imagine if they're going to add me and Keith.
Okay. And I'm going to throw this wrinkle at you also.
I gotta be a wrinkle.
Okay? It's a wrinkle for 40s here. I do believe Bronny James is going to play alongside his father here in LA next year. Okay? So I see Bronny playing 15 minutes off the bench next year. Okay? Those could be CP3's 15 to 18 minutes. So is it possible in the end that the last rotation spot would come down to CP3 and Brian?
You got a dad and a smoke right there.
Well, it's not. It's his literal godfather. I mean, he's the godfather of Bronny, right? Is it possible there'd be some clash of minutes between those two?
I don't think at all. No, he would give him every single minute.
Okay, I believe that. All right, and yet in the end, to me, LeBron is a natural-born point guard.
You just painted a picture to where if he was on the team with CP and LeBron, when they retire, I don't think you could have got no better trainer, no better teaching than to be in the NBA. To go through whatever failures you got to go through with your dad and with CP.
You want to talk about it?
I think you just created an NBA player that don't need y'all no more.
Yeah, okay.
They need that's a great.
Okay. So you like it? Okay.
I love that picture. Yeah.
Okay. And you're starting to talk yourself into it until I said 2 40-year-olds, right?
Yeah. So I said, we're getting old, fast. Oldest, however you want to say it. What else is around?
Yeah,
It just be CP3 and run it back. That's not going to happen. We can't do that. If you told me we get a CP3 and we're going to get DeMar DeRozan, okay, let's do that. If you told me something like that, we're going to get CP3 and Paul George. Okay, that's cool. But if you just telling me the only thing to get the CP3,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's enough. Remember,
Now George. And that's going to be a turnover. They called for 8 seconds.
They've been doing a lot of things right in this game, but something they have to improve. is their ball security.
Brooklyn making some changes. Olajuwon comes in for English. And it's Robertson in for Chauncey Billups. And Chicago also making a switch. Anthony's checked in. LeBron going to work.